Greetings, fellow airsoft nerds. I'm James. I was a police officer for like 8 years. I was in the Army for like 12 years. Did a bunch of stuff with guns. I was agency certified in active shooter response, firearms instructor certified, and a bunch of other blah, 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 blah. So let's react to some airsofters doing training. So we're going to start off by watching the double tap airsoft. I'm going to put all these links down on the bottom for the actual raw videos. Looks like he's just doing some backyard stuff with a rifle. Let's check it out.
So I'm going to do 2 shots, drop the mag, reload, and 2 shots again. So let's see.
Standard, that's a standard drill.
A little bit.
I don't know why he... Watch him, it looks like he's simulating a chamber check. Watch. See how he pulls his charging handle back? So he's either checking his hop up or he's simulating a chamber check. Chamber checks are unnecessary with an AEG, but if he's using this AEG platform to reinforce actual rifle skills, then this makes perfect sense. Yeah, see how he hit his bolt release button again? Watch. Right in here. You're gonna watch right in here. Loads, boom. So with an AEG, you don't need to do that. With a gas rifle, that would make sense, but this sounds like an AEG rifle. So again, this is probably just to reinforce his real rifle skills. I like that he has a target, that you can hear the impacts of the target based on time of shots or time of impact. It's probably like maybe 10 feet away, 15 feet away, something like that. Good for him. All he's doing is just mechanics drills. He's just shooting, practicing reloads over and over again. Groovy. This seems perfectly normal. This next one, the channel is M3. I believe, I looked at some of the other videos on this channel. I believe these guys are Taiwanese. And I say that because in another video, I believe it's this gentleman gives a block of instruction in a language that doesn't sound at all like English. So maybe he's Taiwanese, Chinese, could be Japanese, I don't know. I'm assuming they're overseas, which means he probably hasn't had any formal blocks of instruction on what to do, so his basis of knowledge for what he's doing is going to be a mix of what he has probably seen in watching like mag pull videos and stuff like that, and in addition to whatever he's done or what he's learned as an airsoft player. So this is probably going to be like hybrid style training. The audio is going to stay off in this because he's playing a song and I don't know if I'm going to get a copyright strike or not for that song. So too bad, this one's on silent. It is a little weird that they're doing low light training and I don't see any gun lights. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but to me that just seems strange. They like to do a lot of back-to-back work in this. And you really don't see that in the professional training world that often, if at all. His second guy goes in pretty late, so I'm guessing this is the more proficient player, and his number 2 guy, if you watch the time it takes for this guy to make his entry with his follow-up partner to enter, it's in real world, that's a lot. He's already in this, here, let me see if I can play it back. He's already in the room. He's in the space. He's taking fire. He's dealing with conflict. This dude is at the low ready, so his muzzle's down. And based on the angle, I can't tell if he even has a line of sight for what's going in. But what I don't like here is his gun is down. His gun needs to be up as he is making the entry. This is a real strange one to me. It starts as like a cross cover, so his partner has this door and the primary player has this door, and for whatever reason they change positions. I think part of this is they've either seen other people do it so they just mimic it, or it's just they're out here filming trying to look cool. I don't, in the real world, in all the entries I've done, room clearing, blah blah blah, I have never seen this happen. In law enforcement, when I've done patrol clearing, me and my partner, whoever I was with, we've never done this. So this could be a new tactic that I am unaware of because I haven't worn a uniform in years. That's possible. I don't think so. I think these are just 2 untrained, formerly untrained individuals doing what they think is proficient based on probably what else they've seen in the real airsoft world. Here's the whole sequence. They start with cross cover. They give up the cross cover. So again, this guy's not in the space. This guy's in this doorway ready to take fire, and he's also not prepared to cover this space, so that's an issue. For whatever reason, they trade responsibilities, they trade sectors of fire, and then this guy's gonna give up that sector of fire for whatever reason to join his partner. So already he's secondary cleared it, and he's like, okay, this is good, this is no longer a threat. Boom, and he turns his back to the space he was just covering that his partner was just covering a moment ago. That to me doesn't make sense. Here's another indicator that I think these guys are just kind of mimicking what they've seen, because look at the bump he gives his buddy. The hamstring bump. Boop. That is old school. I don't think anyone does that anymore. That used to be taught, man, back in like a decade ago. I haven't been to a class that endorsed that tactic in years. Usually, guys go for, they do the shoulder pinch. Sometimes they'll do a tricep pinch. Sometimes they'll do a double bump to the shoulder, the back of the head, or they'll just say, "Hey man, go." You know, something, or they'll give a verbal deal. Usually, if you're doing like a pinch or some sort of physical technique, you're in an environment where you don't want to make any noise, and you believe that you still have the element of surprise. So I think, again, I just think they're doing this because they're mimicking what they've seen in social media or movies or, you know, whatever. But I don't think dudes are doing the old hamstring pinchy. I don't know. Maybe. Again, I've been out of the game for a hot minute, so maybe it's made a resurgence. Look at this space. Again, look at their reaction time. One guy goes in, two guys gonna button hook. The problem here is that this guy is exposed to his right, which is what he's supposed to be taking up. So they're doing the old school stack and flow method, which a lot of entities, for lack of a better term, they've gone away from that old school stack and flow where everyone gets up in like a single file line and just goes. A lot of modern CQB training, especially when you work in pairs, a lot of that training has gravitated away from stack and flow and adopted more of a modified, what am I thinking? Limited penetration. That's what it is. It's a modified variation of limited penetration, which a lot of us got from the Israeli training. This is from the Woodland Warriors NL. I assume the NL is the Netherlands based on how the flag looks. I believe that is the flag of the Netherlands. So let's see what these guys are doing. I'm going to leave the audio off because I don't know if this song is copywritten, so we're just going to kind of go with it. So it looks like this guy, and I don't know what this gentleman's background is. I don't know if he's a pro or an airsofter or what. It looks like they are rehearsing an old school style of stack and flow for room entries on a center-fed doorway, meaning so there's two wall partitions here, two simulated wall partitions here, whatever you want to call it, and the entryway is center-fed, which means they're going to have to come through the center and hook either to the left or to the right. I'm guessing they're just working on the entry and not worrying about anything else because the entry is atrocious. Yeah, okay. So for starters, this isn't bad. Okay, entry time's horrible, stack and flow style. Usually, I think this person is very new because typically if you're in a 3-person team and if 2 go into the room and you don't follow them, usually don't stay back here. Usually you would continue forward and kind of keep that. So it's kind of like leapfrog. You wouldn't usually stay back here. You would proceed forward or go if you weren't going into this room, you would go forward to cover their, what do I want to say, their entrance back into the space. Because now that they have to enter, you see this guy has to bring his gun down. That's a problem. You usually want to avoid that, so you would push forward of the entranceway to keep that space security. Otherwise, these two guys are doing all the work, and I don't even know what the hell this guy's doing back here. These dudes are late to the party? I don't know. Time for action. Yeah! Not bad. See how this is stack and flow? This is kind of very airsoftery because it's like this echelon of muzzles, so to speak. So typically another way that most folks would navigate this, and it's also hard to see what the point man's angle is. Usually, even if this guy's staying here, number 2 guy would usually swing to his right and take this entranceway, kind of like you know the term slicing the pie. and they would usually do, because the doorway's wide enough, so you could do a two-person entrance, or a two-person entrance. That's the word I want. Long day. Go back. Here's the other issue that I have with this. Look at this number 2 person's muzzle in relation to number 1's back. And flagged. What are we doing here? That's kind of one of the other ways you could sort of tell if someone's been actually trained, is how they hold their weapon when they're not the point person or the number 1 person or the breacher, or the tip of the spear, whatever you want to say. Usually guys go muzzles up or muzzle down. I always try to go and teach muzzle up, just because I think it's faster for me to, especially with a rifle. Usually a high, for lack of a better term, like a high port. I think it's called high port, like a port arms or whatever you want to call it. Muzzle. It's usually a faster way to reacquire a sight picture if you have to engage a target, versus the old traditional low ready or muzzle down. Go. Did you catch that? I caught that. I want you to watch this guy's eyes and his muzzle, because they do two very different things. What he's going to do is he's going to clear this space off to the right, but he half-asses it. Watch. Where's his muzzle? Why is his muzzle down? His muzzle should be in the same spot he's trying to clear. He wants to clear this space over here because right here is like the under portion of the stairs, which are right over here. But look, watch his eyes, watch his muzzle. See that? He double cleared it. We're going in. Half-ass. Oh, wait, what? Okay, we're good. So this guy has to clear it, the guy with a camera, and even he doesn't do the best job. Well, based on the camera angle that I have, I don't know if that's a full clear because I don't know how deep these stairs go. Does that make sense? So it might be very well that this third person that's filming physically saw the entirety of the space, but the camera angle doesn't show that. So that's just me being picky. And by picky, I mean a professional. Again, that old school, this is the old school stack and flow. Here we go. They look kind of bladed out. This guy looks like the person filming looks like he's trying to go muzzle up, but because everything's the same color camo, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, for beginners, this is great. Why is he the first person and the only person in this room right now? And why does he also have a pistol? Pistol should never be your primary weapon if you can go to a rifle. I'm tired of beating this dead horse. Let's look at this again. We're going to go into the space. Hi, I'm the only one in here. How's it going? My team is slow AF. Oh, wait, here's my buddy. That half-assed coming in the doorway. Watch his footwork. Watch number 2 guy. Watch this guy. Watch his footwork. And watch how ideally you want a fluid transition into the space. But he doesn't. He kind of stutter steps and half-asses. He's not certain of his movements. Again, because he's a beginner, and this is how beginners move. So I'm not necessarily faulting him or saying he sucks. I'm just saying this is probably his first time doing this sort of training, and I feel like that's an accurate statement based on his movements and his reactions. Watch his footwork. Beep, beep. Very slow, and he sucks. He stays into that space. See, this team is very unsure of what they're doing, and I don't know why your point guy has a pistol out when you have 2 rifles behind you. What are we doing? Ideally, even if you want to say this is your hands-on guy, cool. Make him number 3, because the first thing we want to do before we go hands-on is secure a scene, and nothing secures a scene better than a rifle. Again, what do I know? Okay, never mind. He's not the hands-on guy, because they already acquired a subject. So, anyway. Could have done that better. He needs to move quicker into the doorway, but I do like that he looked here and then swung in, but you see him go back and forth kind of a lot. So he's going to go straight, left, and right. So he looks straight, goes left, goes back out right. Why? Why do you need to go back out? Why wouldn't you just keep going? It's kind of a lot going on, but he effectively cleared the entire space when he got in there before his buddy even got a chance to come in the space. So his buddy arguably wasn't needed because he just did all the work. So unless this guy dies, the guy filming isn't needed in this little scenario. You pointing. That guy's way too close. Why is he looking back? You're either on security or you're not. What are you doing? What was that? What is going on here? Okay. If you have a subject and that subject is secured by two individuals, the guy filming has no logical reason to do anything other than pull security on this door. That's it. That should be his job. But he's looking around. And the whole team should die. All right, we have this guy, we'll just say officers for lack of a better term, two guys going hands-on, which means this dude is secured, unless they're not using verbal comms, which I highly doubt. This guy the person filming does not understand what his role is in this scenario. Unless you want to say what is this? Unless you want to say the person filming is now the lead person for the exit security. Okay, cool. He's the tip of the spear to leave the space. But what's this guy doing? Why isn't he covering that door? What's this guy doing? What is everyone else's role? No one in this scenario, in this team, understands what their role is, with the exception of the guy that's hands-on. But again, they're new, so this is what you get. So, I mean, good for them for what I'm guessing is their first day of team training. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. You're supposed to make these mistakes in a training environment so you can bring them up in an AR and go, okay, here's what we need to work on. Look, man, we're still not confident in what our jobs are after we've secured our subject. So let's verbally just talk it over. Let's whiteboard this. Let's do some sandbox drills, blah, blah, blah. For their first time doing this, yeah, it doesn't look like they're professionals, but they're not professionals. They're airsofters, and God love them for spending the money and taking the time to learn this very complicated task in a day. And I guarantee that they were better at the end of the day than at the start of the day. So God bless them for that. Ta-da! And that is it. Thank you for watching. I don't know why people find my opinion so interesting. Please make sure you are checking out Godfather Milsim on YouTube and on Instagram. He does the same thing I'm doing. He just does it way better than I do because he's way smarter and way more experienced for me. So go check out Godfather Milsim. God bless you. I'll see you later.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?